We're talking centuries of history, a hidden treasure, a family curse, and personal struggles set against some truly monumental events.
That's right. This isn't our map, it's yours. And the territory it covers is vast, stretching from, 19th century Ukraine all the way to modern-day Canada and back again.
Wow.
So our mission in this deep dive is to cut through the density, find that core story, pull out those surprising nuggets of insight, and, help you see the connections across time.
Okay, let's jump right in then. The sources drop us immediately into a really dramatic scene.
Yeah.
A man on his deathbed.
Yeah, we meet Yarema Dorosh, and the situation is critical. A German doctor delivers a grim prognosis, basically says he won't survive the night.
Grim.
And in a moment of desperation, or perhaps, pragmatism, given the urgency for signatures on documents like a will,
Right.
The doctor even suggests calling for the witch, Krivoshuka. Maybe she could buy Yarema just a day or two.
A witch, okay. And does she come?
She does. Krivoshuka arrives, and seemingly with an almost preternatural awareness. The source describes her shuffling in at night, immediately noticing the scent of garlic in the hallway.
Garlic. Why garlic?
Well, she makes this cryptic comment, something like, "The soul didn't eat garlic, but here is a sinful stench." Then she goes straight to the smoking room right where Yarema is. It's sort of an insight from the sources into the almost mythic role figures like her could play in these communities back then.
Right. So Yarema's dying. What's going through his mind?
Well, as he lies dying, his final thoughts, the sources tell us, are consumed by one person, Perpetua. He calls her my son, my precious berry.
Perpetua.
He first saw her a year prior on Pokrova. That's a significant religious holiday in October at a church in Koslitz. And get this, there's a fascinating detail here. He apparently overheard her unusual prayer in front of an icon of the Mother of God. She seemed to be addressing the sun itself.
The sun, not God.
Right. O bright sun, illuminate me, servant of God Perpetua, before gentlemen, before priests, before czars, before the entire Christian world.
Strange, right.
Very strange. So they met there.
Well, they encountered each other later that day at a nobleman's house. He remembers seeing a decorated album belonging to the host's daughter.
And their connection deepened.
Oh, absolutely. The sources paint a picture of intense, secretive love filled with Yarema's fervent promises. Apparently, he felt he could barely breathe away from her.
But it was secret.
Very secret. And there was a huge complication. Perpetua's servant, Darka, revealed that Perpetua was pregnant with Yarema's child, Nat.
Oh, wow. Okay, that changes everything. He's married, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This forced Yarema into a desperate maneuver to protect Perpetua and their unborn son. He convinced Perpetua to marry his frail, paralyzed elderly uncle Samilo Dorosh.
His uncle. Well, the plan, as revealed in the sources, was kind of calculated. Yarema hoped that after both Samilo and his own wife, Pani Stanislava, passed away,
Right.
he and Perpetua could finally be together openly and, legitimize Nat.
A long game. But it didn't work out.
Oh, it didn't. That future was snatched away. In his final moments, the sources say Yarema is trying to invoke his ancestors, calling out names, seemingly hoping for their strength to fight off.
Yeah.
Something intangible.
Fighting fate.
Maybe. And that's when Krivoshuka, the witch, delivers the devastating truth. Pani Stanislava, his wife, had discovered the affair.
I had a feeling.
And she didn't just discover it, she reacted with, fury and invoked divine retribution. Pani Stanislava had prayed for God to strike Yarema down.
Okay.
And, critically, to curse his lineage up to the 7th generation.
7th generation. That's
Incredibly specific. This curse wasn't just about sorrow and poverty. It was decreed that the 7th generation would be the last, ending the Dorosh bloodline forever.
the end of the line. Wow.
And Krivoshuka adds another chilling detail. She predicts the curse's power might start to wane, specifically around 2013.
2013. That's recent history. Okay, so Perpetua hears this. How does she react?
The sources show her reaction is one of profound despair. Utter despair. But instead of succumbing to it, she makes this incredibly powerful decision after Yarema's death.
Which is?
A decision to actively fight the curse through sacrifice. She vows to save every single coin she can, to place it in a large carved chest described as being big enough for a suckling pig. Specifically for that future 7th generation descendant. Her hope, her prayer, was that her years of saving, her tears, her sacrifice would somehow help them break the curse when the time came.
Incredible. So she starts saving.
Immediately. The
Yeah.
very first coin she places in the chest is a gold Shervaness, a historical gold coin.
And that act, placing the first coin, is the beginning of this legacy that spans decades and crosses an ocean.
Exactly. Perpetua commits her life to this vow, saving with fierce determination.
So we flash forward.
We flash forward 37 years to the spring of 1881. Perpetua, now gray-haired, is preparing for a massive change. Emigration to Canada.
To Canada, with the chest.
With the chest. She's traveling with her son Nat and the elderly Dr. Alois Werner. And the sources highlight a fascinating moment of matriarchal resolve here. Nat initially planned to go alone, but Perpetua's insistence was absolute. The sources quote her directly, emphasizing her determination. "I will go with you, son. If you don't take me, I will walk after you."
Wow. Why was she so insistent?
Her reasoning, well, it underscores this deep, complex bond. Nat's wife, Olga, is staying behind with her child, Sashko. Perpetua asserts that she, Perpetua, must remain with her child, Nat, until her own death.
Fierce loyalty, so they make the journey.
They make the arduous journey and arrive in Canada. And Perpetua makes this truly remarkable, almost unbelievable visit to the Bank of Montreal.
Okay, I want to hear this.
The sources describe her arrival. A humbly dressed elderly woman looking like a poor beggar, yet she's carrying this large, heavy chest that she declares is full of gold.
Just walks in like that.
Apparently, the sheer contrast is striking and immediately intrigues the bank director himself.
I bet. So, what was in it? Was it really gold?
Oh, it was. When the chest is finally open and its contents inventoried, it holds a considerable fortune for the time. 542 gold coins of various weights and denominations, accumulated over those nearly 4 decades.
542 gold coins. That's a lot.
A fortune. But the gold isn't the only thing. On top of the coins, Perpetua has placed 2 personal items. A Warren Girls album.
The album from the nobleman's house.
It seems like it, yes. And a very long letter written on several sheets of thick paper.
The letter explaining everything, presumably.
Precisely. The sources capture a quiet, poignant moment as the heavy chest is taken to the bank vault. Perpetua reflects, "Now I have no earthly business left except for one, to be with my child until death." She looks towards the sky, a subtle hint of her longing to be reunited with Yarema.
Such a long journey, driven by love and this curse.
And that letter, it proves absolutely crucial many years later. It's read by Mariana in the modern era and confirms everything.
What does it say exactly?
Perpetua identifies herself fully. Perpetua Markova Dorosh, née Izovatova, she explicitly recounts the story of her sinful love for Yarema, the birth of Nat, whose parentage no Christian soul knew, her arranged marriage to Samilo, and Yarema's original plan.
And the curse.
Confirms it. Confirms that Pani Stanislava discovered the truth and cursed Yarema's lineage to sorrow, poverty, and extinction by the 7th generation.
And her vow.
Reiterates her vow to save everything for that descendant, hoping her sacrifice, her tears and prayers would help them overcome the curse.
Wow, okay. So with that incredible historical foundation laid, we shift dramatically.
Right. To the modern day where we meet Mariana, her world feels instantly different, driven by, well, contemporary desires.
How so?
Her initial focus, the sources tell us, is on attracting a man named Kutinsky. And there's a vivid detail here. She buys pheromone perfume near Abalon Metro.
Pheromone perfume, does it work?
Well, it's described as smelling of burnt matches, tobacco, and something sickly sweet and disgusting, so probably not.
Chuckles. Okay, burnt matches. Got it.
It's an immediate insight into the perhaps desperate or, manufactured nature of her initial aspirations.
And her relationship with this Kotinsky.
It's depicted in the sources as steeped in symbols of status. She notices his genuine Parker pen during their first intimacy. Their meetings are at his office or in his stylish loft near the Olympic Stadium, a Kyiv landmark.
So she's drawn to the lifestyle.
Clearly. The Audi, the loft. She dreams of that kind of life for herself. Her friend Polya offers a very practical, grounded piece of advice. Investigate his background.
Good advice.
Always. And what's fascinating is how the sources place this very personal, almost transactional drama against this huge backdrop of significant national events.
Right. You mentioned monumental events.
We hear the sounds of the Maidan protests beginning in Kyiv, the mentions of students being beaten by Berkut, the special police force, and the growing calls for action. The contrast between Mariana's personal ambition and the national upheaval is really stark.
So the personal and the political are intertwined from the start.
Definitely. And it's within this turbulent environment that Kutinsky reveals his secret to Mariana, something that links her present directly to that distant past we just talked about.
Okay, what's the secret?
He tells her that his childhood friend Kravchuk, now a lawyer in Montreal, has been hired by the Bank of Montreal.
Bank of Montreal?
The very same. Hired to locate the descendants of a Dorosh for an inheritance.
The inheritance. Perpetuia's chest.
Bingo! Katinsky has struck a deal with Kravchuk. 50% of the finder's fee if he can find the heirs in Ukraine.
50%. That could be huge.
Millions, potentially. He enlists Mariana, initially framing it as, a path to their shared future, but stressing absolute secrecy. He mentions dozens of adventurers who might interfere.
So he wants her to find the heirs for him.
Essentially, yes. And the sources also delve into Mariana's own family life, giving us context for her world.
Tell us about them.
We see them in their Khrushchevka apartment on Voskresenka. These are typical Soviet-era apartment buildings, pretty humble and cramped.
Right.
Her mother, Ada, is depicted as volatile, obsessed with status and wealth. She's even planning to leave Mariana's gentle, quiet father, Valentin, for another man named Shulyak in his house outside the city in Bykivnia.
Oof. Family drama.
Lots of it. Then there's her grandmother, Baba Nada. She's a strong, practical figure who reveals her past as a fartsivalnik in Odessa, basically a speculator or black marketeer.
A black marketeer grandmother.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. This detail apparently links back to Ada's father, Edward, who was influential in Odessa because he was skilled at ripping off foreign sailors.
Quite the family history.
And there's a touch of tragedy, too. Ada's difficult past with her own grandmother, Baba Tasya, who died on Ada's wedding day after seeing her in the dress she'd sewn.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. And the sources offer an insight into Katinsky's character here, showing his calculated charm. He even feigns interest in Ukrainian history, asking Ada about Cossack figures like Semilokishka purely to impress her.
Playing the part. So Mariana starts the search.
She does. She begins looking for Yarema Dorosh in the archives, starting with his death date in 1843. Leads nowhere initially.
But then?
Seems like it. But she has a breakthrough moment, realizing she needs to look beyond just death records into life events, diaries, memories.
Makes sense.
And the sources show her discovering information about Yarema's uncle, Samilo Dorosh, the man Perpetuia supposedly married.
The elderly uncle, right.
Samilo moved to Katerina-Slavshchina, which is modern-day Dnipropetrovsk Oblast, in 1843 with his family after selling his estate near Nishin.
So he left the area.
He did. And this is a critical turning point. Mariana realizes the lineage, the inheritance, might have continued not through Yarema's official line, Pani Stanislava,
but through the line connected to Samilo, through Nat, Perpetuia's son.
Potentially. She decides to search in Dnipropetrovsk following Samilo's descendants. Katinsky is ecstatic about this lead, pushing her urgently to go there, like, now.
Right, but the Maidan protests are escalating.
Exactly. The personal narrative continues against this increasingly intense Maidan backdrop. The sources mention people preparing for protests, even practicing climbing structures referred to as the tree, with ropes and carabiners.
Wow. Things are heating up.
And Mariana has this unsettling encounter on the metro where a young man approaches her and just says, "You are my woman."
Oh, randomly.
Seems like it. She later meets this young man, Yorko, and his friends who are involved with the Maidan movement, providing aid, Bidso, Aurora, Fedja, Anita.
So he's involved in the protests.
Deeply. The sources describe them engaged in practical tasks, preparing food and supplies. And then Yarko makes this sudden, intense declaration of loyalty to Mariana in a church, before an icon.
What does he say?
Something like, "Before the Mother of God, I swear fidelity to this woman, forever."
Forever. After just meeting her. That's intense.
Extremely. And Mariana, caught between her personal quest for wealth and status with Katinsky and this unexpected, almost overwhelming idealism from Yarko, is left completely confused.
I can imagine. What does Katinsky think of all this?
His reaction to her seeming lack of focus on the inheritance search is cold and very revealing of his true priorities. The sources say he literally packs her bags for Dnipropetrovsk and leaves her outside the archive with them, fully expecting her to head straight to the train station.
Just leaves her there.
Yep. Go find the money. That's the message.
Okay. This sets the stage for, well, probably a lot of conflict.
A cascade of crises and revelations, actually, because Mariana doesn't go to the Dnipropetrovsk. She returns to Kiev.
Defying Katinsky, what happens?
The sources expose the depth of Katinsky's betrayal almost immediately. The concierge at his building reveals he paid her 50 hryvnias, a relatively small sum, every time Mariana visited, purely for her silence.
He paid the concierge to keep quiet about her visits. Sleazy.
Totally. And the concierge also casually mentions that Kotinski's mommy, Angelina, is back and staying with him.
Mommy. Oh, so he had another woman the whole time.
It seems so. Confirming his relationship with Mariana was never what she believed it to be. And as she leaves, she has another encounter with that strange old woman in the funny ski hat with deer antlers.
Krivoshuika, the witch.
Looks like it. Just there, in the stairwell.
Okay, this is getting weirder. So Mariana goes home.
She returns to her parents' apartment, stepping right into another kind of chaos. Her mother, Ada, is still fixated on leaving Valentin for Shuliak.
Still planning to leave her husband.
Yep. Leading to explosive tension and arguments, with Ada resorting to calling Mariana a swine.
Ouch.
Her grandmother, Babanata, steps in, revealing she was actually nearby the whole time, but Ada had actively prevented her from being close to Mariana.
Ada was blocking the grandmother. Why?
Control, maybe? Fear of interference. It's an insight into the manipulative dynamics within this family.
Definitely complicated. And what about the Maidan situation?
The sources bring the Maidan reality much closer now. Mariana visits her father, Valentin, in the hospital. He's injured, potentially related to the events on Maidan.
Oh, no. Is he okay?
He seems withdrawn. She tries to connect with him, but he just closes his eyes. Then she goes to Maidan herself, walks among the barricades, observes the charged atmosphere, the aggressive energy of some youths.
What's it like there?
She talks to a calm man collecting cups, who offers this reflection on the difference between feeling like you belong to your country, seeing it as home, versus simply being a neighbor who is annoyed by problems but not fundamentally hurt by them.
Food for thought.
And she finds Polya, her practical friend, working as a nurse amidst the chaos, bandaging the injured, including a man with a Cossack mustache, a little symbolic link to the past.
Polya's right in the middle of it.
She is. And the national crisis deepens. Polya calls Mariana later, discussing the escalating situation in Crimea and Donbass, echoing the sentiment, Russians came into our house.
Things are really falling apart.
Amidst this turmoil, Mariana finds she can barely recall Yarko's face. Their brief winter encounter now feels like a distant fairy tale.
The idealistic guy from the church.
Right. And then tragedy strikes closer to Polya. She's arrested near Kalinivka after a resident finds her near a grave.
Arrested? Why?
A body is found nearby, identified as architecture student Ihor Kornilov, killed by blunt force trauma. Polya had been searching for him and, crucially, had a hammer with her.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
Not at all. Later, in despair, Polya gives the hammer away, saying it was good she did, otherwise they'd accuse her.
More loss follows, doesn't it? Yarko returns.
Yes, Mariana meets Yarko again. He has returned from Georgia, and he reveals that Bidzo and Aurora, they're friends from the Maidan aid group.
The ones preparing food.
Yes. They were killed in Sloviansk while helping him rescue his family there.
Oh my God.
Killed. Mariana is distraught by this news, adding personal grief to all the surrounding chaos. She argues with Yarko, rejecting him, insisting she's forgotten him and there's no future for them.
Even after he swore fidelity.
Even as he clings to his idealistic declaration that she's forever, it's raw, painful.
So much loss. And amidst all this, the inheritance story resurfaces.
It does. Mariana meets with the lawyers Storozenko and Peter. Peter reveals he works for the Bank of Montreal, confirming the official nature of the search.
Okay, so it's legitimate.
Yes. And here's a critical piece of information from the sources. Peter admits he was the one who earlier told Kotinsky about finding traces of Valerian.
Valerian, who's that?
Yarema's son with Pani Stanislava, his legitimate son, traces found in Warsaw that winter.
So Kotinsky wasn't just guessing. He had a lead on the other potential branch of the family.
Exactly. He wasn't just randomly looking for any Dorosh. He had specific information pointing towards Yarema's official line first.
Interesting. So then comes the reading of Perpetua's letter.
Yes, the official reading. It explicitly confirms the story of the curse on the 7th generation, the last.
The curse again.
And in this moment, Mariana has this chilling realization drawn directly from the source's structure. She and Yarko are the 7th generation descendants of Yarema's lines.
Both of them. How?
Yarko from Samila's line, the one connected to Nat, and Mariana. Well, the sources imply she's connected to Valerian's line, the official one, though it's not fully spelled out how just yet. But the point is, they are the potentially cursed, potentially last Doroshes.
The 7th generation. Facing the curse. Together, unknowingly.
Right. And the scale of Perpetua's legacy is revealed. Millions of dollars accumulated from the 542 gold coins, plus an astonishing 300% interest over 130 years.
Millions. But there's a catch, isn't there?
A huge, almost impossible catch. A condition attached to the main inheritance in Perpetua's letter. It is received only after having a child in a legal church marriage.
A child first, wow. That's quite a condition.
And there's more. To finalize the inheritance specifically for Samuel's line, which the sources are now heavily implying is Yarko's branch, they need proof of death for Yaroslav Raevsky Dorosh.
Who's that?
Presumably, the last known descendant from Valerian's line, Yarema's legitimate son with Pani Stanislava. They need proof that the other line has ended.
So one line inherits only if the other is proven extinct and only after having a kid in a church marriage. Perpetua made it complicated.
Deeply complicated. And more intense confrontations follow. Mariana encounters Kotinsky again.
Ugh, him again.
He's arrogant, criticizes her, even admits another woman paid him for comfort and a car. Then he tries to buy his way back in, offering Mariana expensive earrings with hyacinths, wanting to start over.
Seriously, after everything.
He's consistent in viewing relationships transactionally, it seems. She rejects him, calls him crazy.
Good for her.
Yep.
It escalates, right?
Horribly. Mariana finds Potinsky in her parents' small apartment, threatening her gentle father, Valentin, with a knife and a rope.
No. Threatening her father.
Yes. Babanata and Ada are present. Polya, showing incredible resourcefulness and loyalty, has climbed through a window to help Valentin.
Polya climbed through the window. Amazing.
Babanata, the strong matriarch, is ready to physically confront Kotinsky. And then, in a surreal turn, Kafurshika arrives.
The witch shows up again.
Yeah.
In the middle of this.
Right there. She offers Kotinsky a foul-smelling drink. Then, strangely, cats attack him.
Cats?
Cats attack him. Krivoshika physically traps him, adding to the bizarre scene, and her words are chilling. She threatens to leave him for the cats if he dies, and explicitly states she will prevent him from getting new money from old papers.
A clear reference to the inheritance.
Wow.
Supernatural intervention.
Seems like it, as depicted in these sources. It's wild.
What happens after that chaos? Legally.
In the aftermath, the sources briefly touch on the legal fallout. Mariana goes to the prosecutor's office, pours gasoline in an act of desperation or protest, faints, and ends up becoming a witness.
Here's gasoline. Okay.
And Polya is released on bail. The search continues for a new suspect in Ihor Kornilov's murder, shifting the focus away from her, thankfully.
Okay. So that brings us towards the end, the fight against fate.
Exactly. The final act, a fight against the seemingly predetermined fate of the curse and a chance to build a future. And Mariana makes a surprising choice, given everything.
What does she choose?
The sources say she decides she will marry Peter.
Peter, the lawyer from the bank, not Yarko.
Peter. And his reaction is presented in the sources as genuine and grounded. He agrees, expressing a desire to be with her, saying there's nothing impossible for us ordinary people, and that he wants to be with her until death, through joy and sorrow.
A very different kind of relationship for her.
A complete contrast to Kotinsky. But she's still seeking answers about the curse, right?
She is. Mariana revisits Doroshivka, the site of the original events. She finds hidden niches in the ruins of the smoking room, perhaps looking for clues or just connecting with the past.
Trying to understand it all.
She reflects on the idea of Dorosh blood and loyalty, thinking of Yarko bringing his friend Bidzo's body home despite the risks. This reflection leads her back to Krivoshika.
To the witch again, asking how to break the curse.
Exactly. And Krivoshika offers two paths, according to the sources.
Okay, what are they?
Either something impossible happens, or a person must call on their ancestors by name, specifically up to the 7th generation, asking for strength.
Invoke the ancestors.
But there's a condition. If the worthy ancestors outweigh the unworthy, then the curse can be overcome.
A judgment of the ancestors. Does Mariana think hers are worthy?
She seems to. Reflecting on her family's struggles and resilience, she feels confident, declaring, "All in my family are glorious."
So she decides to try the invocation.
She undertakes the demanding task of researching her ancestry up to the 7th generation. The sources describe her performing the invocation, calling out specific names from her family tree.
Including who?
Including both Valerian, from Yarema's official line with Pani Stanislava, and Nat, from Perpetua's line, acknowledging both branches. She even includes her living family members, Babanata, Ada, Valentin, asking them for strength and release from the Dorosh curse, pleading, "Let us live."
A powerful moment, calling on everyone. Does it work?
Well, before we find out, the sources show Mariana preparing for a different kind of future, buying items for a wedding, a veil, shoes.
For her wedding to Peter.
Presumably. She tells her family, Valentin, Ada, Babanata, that she is getting married. Their reactions highlight their different perspectives. Shock, confusion.
What do they say?
Babanata, ever cynical, asks if it's for that whoremonger, meaning Kutinsky. Ada is confused about who else it could possibly be, her mind still fixated solely on escaping poverty,
Still focused on the money.
prompting Babanata's sharp retort about the true cost of that desire.
Always practical, Babanata. So, the final scenes, what happens?
In the final scenes presented in these sources, Mariana is possibly in labor, experiencing intense contractions. Krivoshuka is with her assisting.
Krivoshuka is there for the birth.
It seems so. Mariana speaks with determination, saying, "I am the price. Help the child be born."
I am the price. What does that mean?
It's unclear. Maybe her sacrifice, her choice. Krivoshuka agrees to help, but expresses uncertainty about whether this act, the birth itself, will break the curse.
So the birth might not be enough?
Maybe not on its own. But Krivoshuka makes a significant observation. Something impossible has happened. She says 2 streams left their beds and merged into one current.
2 streams merging, the 2 family lines, Yarema's curse lines finally coming together.
And that seems to be the implication in the sources, the merging of different family lines, different paths, or perhaps the convergence of fate and Mariana's active choice through the invocation and maybe even the marriage.
So maybe that's the impossible thing.
Maybe. Krivoshuka urges Mariana not to give up, to keep working. Mariana feels the contractions intensifying. And that's where the sources leave us. The struggle for this new life and potentially the fate of the curse hanging in the balance.
Wow, what an absolutely incredible journey you've sent us on through these sources, seriously.
Isn't it? We've traversed centuries, witnessed the weight of a curse passed down, uncovered a treasure with unimaginable interest, navigated this complex web of family secrets and relationships.
And seeing a fight for a future play out against a backdrop of chaos, sacrifice, and profound national change, it's intense.
These are the deep insights, the surprising connections, and the aha moments that emerge directly from the material you provided. It's a testament to the rich stories hidden within historical documents and personal accounts.
Absolutely. Our job is just to help you piece it together, make sense of the threads.
And it leaves us, and you, the listener, with a truly powerful question to ponder, I think. This story, drawn from your sources, presents this vivid exploration of the power of inherited burdens like a literal curse versus the power of individual choice and the strength drawn from acknowledging and connecting to your past. Like calling on ancestors.
Right. Can understanding where you come from, the sacrifices and struggles of those who came before you, truly equip you to overcome seemingly impossible challenges and forge a new future?
How much of our lives is ultimately predetermined by the forces of history and lineage, and how much is truly within our power to shape?
Even when faced with conditions as seemingly insurmountable as a centuries-old curse, is it fate or is it choice? Or maybe some messy combination of both?